Hi everybody, Doug here. Welcome back to yet another board game channel as we properly start yet another playthrough of Eldritch Horror. We are attempting to defeat Shub-Niggurath while using all the new mechanics from the new expansion, personal stories and resources, and a few extra gates. We're not off to a brilliant start because in the setup, a gate spawned, gave us a poltergeist, which meant that our lead investigator, Kate, got cursed. So, yay. We'll see how that goes. Alright, we're going to get right into it. We will start with the action phase, and yes, we're going to start with Kate. Now, although she is cursed, Kate is still our best bet to deal with our mystery because it involves succeeding at an observation check. Her observation is 4. All our other investigators have just a measly 1 or 2. So for her to work on that, she needs clues. So for her first action, she's in Buenos Aires. She is going to prepare to travel by getting a ship ticket, and then she is going to use that ship ticket to move over to South Africa, Space 15, and hopefully get that clue during the encounters. Alright, now Wilson Richards' actions. Now, we are going to need clues, so going to send Wilson off to London, where hopefully during his encounter he can spawn some clues. For his second action, we're going to go ahead and use his special ability to gain 1 asset of his choice, worth 1 from the assets for free. It's not an amazing thing, but it's 1. Skeleton keys. We get to add 1 to the result of a die roll. When resolving a test during an otherworld encounter, we can pass that off to someone. But it will also get a new asset on the board, the 45 automatic, which will gain +3 strength during combat encounters. That would be okay to have. So, yes, that's it for Wilson. Now we're going to move over to Lola Hayes she's over in Japan. Okay, first thing Lola is going to do is grab herself a focus, because I don't particularly want her to move. I'm going to keep her in Tokyo, where she is going to do an acquire assets action. She has an influence currently of 5, thanks to the improvement token we got to place. And we'll see what all she can pick up. 1, that's not enough to get anything. So let's go ahead and spend that focus token. See if we just get something out of that. Yeah. Nope. Not a great start for Lola. She was unable to acquire anything. Well, that's it for her turn then. She's on defeat monsters. Maybe she'll have a chance to do something about that poltergeist in an encounter. We'll see. So, finally, we are going to go to Luke Robinson the Dreamer over in the pyramids. Now, Luke, I don't actually want to move. I want him to try to access that gate and possibly close it. So, what he's going to do for his 2 actions, number 1, he's going to gain a focus. Speaking of which, focus. And for his second action, our first ever resource which will let him get better healing or better asset getting. You can trade resources between investigators, so if he has to hand that off to someone, he can. Alright, that wasn't much, but that is it for the action phase. Now we're on to the encounters. Alright, back around to Kate. It's our first time delving into the research encounter deck, so we're going to shuffle it. And then, see, yes, we're on a city. Let's get that to focus. There we go. You race your car through traffic, speeding after the cultists. Okay. Right, cold open, right into it. They tried to lose you on back streets. We're going to test our observation, which is her best. Okay, cursed dice, but she does get to roll 4 dice. And she succeeded. She rolled a 6. Good for Kate. If you pass, you catch up to them, gain this clue. If we'd failed, ooh, car accident, back injury. Not good. All right. We were successful. So Kate's off to a better start after all. We're going to take that clue, give it to her, so she now has 2 clues, which is enough for her to try to go for one of the Eldritch tokens that we need to clear off the board for our mystery. Alright, next, back to Wilson, who is in London. Alright, first time delving into this deck. So we will shuffle, and alright, London's on the top. H.G. Wells, neat, shows you items from the future after the ancient ones have destroyed humanity. Oh, that's not hopeful. You cannot bear to look at them. We're going to test Wilson's will, which is 3. Alright, Wilson, you succeeded, yes. If you pass, you see a way to avoid the future. Gain 1 task, unique asset. And there's the bad things that could happen. Alright. Let's go to the unique assets. Got all the tasks separated out. And we're just going to shuffle those. Whoops. And drop a couple. And then draw off the bottom. Wave of Destruction. When you pass a lore test while resolving a spell effect, well, you need a spell first, you may spend 1 health to place 1 health on this card. Then you may flip this card. Well, we'll see if he manages to actually pick up a spell and do anything with it. Could possibly foist that off on someone else if we don't feel like doing it with Wilson. Alright, that's it for him. Didn't spawn any clues, unfortunately, but over to Lola back in Tokyo. Okay, it's our first time using this deck. Tokyo is the center one. You hope to convince Goto Shinpei, the Minister of Home Affairs, that occult forces endanger Tokyo. Going to test her influence, which is going to be all 5 dice. She did it with 1. Now, before we continue, we need to remember that for Lola's personal story, for each skill, that we pass a test, we're going to put an improvement token on here to track it. So that's 1 down, 4 to go. And in the meantime, if you pass, he'll do anything to help. Gain a funding condition. Okay. Let's see, that's going to be a deal. All right. Start Pact Agreement funding. You may discard this card in place of getting a debt condition, or to discard a debt condition. On a reckoning, if we're on a city space, we can flip it and hopefully get some goodies. All right. Yeah, that's it for her. Now, our final investigator's actions, Luke, over in the pyramids. Now, Luke is going to use his passive ability. During the encounter phase, you may spend 1 focus or a sanity to encounter a gate on your space as if there were no monsters there. So he's going to go ahead and spend 1 of his 8 sanity. He has rather a lot. And he might get this back if he succeeds. Anyway. So he's going to avoid the poltergeist and a first time through the gate. Through a gate, so we will shuffle, and he steps through to Yoggoth. Strange luminescent murals have been depicted on the dark stone. They depict a family of outer gods. You may spend 1 focus to learn the story being shown. If you spend the focus, okay. It's a good thing I didn't spend the focus to avoid poltergeist. We'll do that. We'll spend it, because I expect it's the better result. The children of, well, you people try to pronounce that as soon as it focuses. I'm not sure how to pronounce a CX. Yes, the children of that fled Yoggoth to avoid being eaten by their father. You can use their path to return home. Close this gate. Yes. Now, a few things happen because we closed the gate. First of all, Luke, because of his dream box, when you close a gate during another world encounter, he gets that focus back, and because the gate currently matches what's on the omen... Oh, no, it hasn't. Oh, that's next turn. Never mind. He does get the focus, though. Duh. We were trying to avoid it hitting the blue. So he gets himself a focus token back. Now, stuff also happens for Kate Winthrop. She's not going to do this right now. Once per round, when a gate is closed or discarded, you may spend a clue to place a clue on this card. Well, I want her to have her 2 clues to try to deal with an Eldritch token next turn. However, if a gate would spawn... No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Right, we are going to get to add the gate to her resonance story, personal story, and yeah, she wants 5 or more on here to get her good effects. So let's keep that in mind. Now, what else happens after the gate is closed? However, some of the glowing paint got on your skin. Observation. Observation's 1. Didn't get it? Well, you know, he got that focus token back. Let's go ahead and spend it. Hey! Success. If you fail, we only have a fail result. No infection for us. Yay. Okay, that wasn't too bad of an action phase for people. Mixed results, but mostly pretty good. So, that will conclude that, and we will go into our first dreaded Mythos phase. And before I do that, just realized once per round, yeah, when Lola was rolling for assets, I could have rolled one additional die because it was an influence test, but I didn't do it, so that's fine. It just didn't pick up. It's nothing really amazing anyway. So let's see what happens on our first Mythos card. Okay, first things first, the Owen track advances. Doom does not, because Luke got rid of that gate. Then we get a Monster Surge. We have no gates, so that means we are going to have to spawn a gate. So, alright, they're all going to start popping up on the Egypt sideboard. The first three will be. So I'm not going to bother switching over to the other board by camera, but there we go. I have done Cairo. And it'll get, what monster will we get? We get, a cultist. Okay, not too bad. So let's put him on a wee stand, and off screen, he's there. And we're going to spawn 2 clue tokens. Good. You really want clue tokens. 2, 1, and 2. Okay. One on space 17 and one on space 16. So one up here in Russia and one in India. Okay, walking down the street. You're surrounded by locked doors and boarded up windows. Oh, I know what. Yes, I recognize this card. You see only a few people striding down the sidewalk, and almost all of them avoid eye contact. Those that do look you in the eye, bleh, glare at you suspiciously. Driven to bankruptcy, ongoing. When this card enters play, discard all cards from the reserve. Cards cannot be placed in the reserve. And on the next reckoning, this goes away and we get stuff back. So we lose access to the 4 items currently in the reserve, which is more an annoyance than anything. There wasn't anything truly amazing. You know, things that are, kind of helpful. But yes, we will discard those and we will have to wait for them to come back. That is in play. Well, I'll just stick it there for no. Put it right on the reserve there. That could have been a lot worse. And I'm glad it happened now when there was only kind of so-so stuff in the reserve. So that is it for the first turn. Not too bad. Not amazing, but not bad. We'll see what happens next time. So I'll see you then. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos on YouTube and Board Game Geek. I appreciate it. And we will see you next time for yet another turn of Eldritch Horror. So long.